Sprint 150 meters as fast as you can. Phoenix, where she excels, out in front. The fifth trial. Lift your entire body over a high beam. 10 feet for the men, 8 for the ladies. And it was a real test of strength and will. Wolf develops a successful technique and a nifty line in headgear. And the power of Hawk's upper body paid dividends. Cobra, old snake hips, just coiled himself around the beam. There's Phoenix just flying over. Some had the strength to pull themselves up, but just couldn't get a leg over. Meanwhile, Scorpio had both the agility and technique to succeed. And Jet just flew over. And there's the victory roll. And as if those tests weren't enough, everybody outside for the Army Assault Course. And although the Gladiators took no part in the final event, Eliminator, nothing could test their strength and endurance more fully. Jet not only climbed the wall, but proved her balance was excellent. And she still had time for acrobatics. Fitness, stamina, personality, looks. This girl was born to be a gladiator. Warrior and shadow. Even at this stage, we knew we were looking at Gladiator's very own universal soldiers. This also proved to be a good workout for our #1 cameraman, Phil Palmer, who had to keep up with them. And after a day of physical exertion, the last thing they wanted to see was a cargo net. In fact, this course had 2 of them.
Look at your feet. Look at your feet. Your hands will get there. Look at your feet. That's it. Take a strap. Look at your feet. That's it. Look at your feet. Look at your feet.
Hawk and Cobra might have been feeling the pace, but they didn't show it.
Okay, chuck it in down the hill.
Saracen comes off the second cargo net and faces a grueling 3-mile cross-country back to the finish line. Let's join Saracen at the Gladiator training camp.
105, 106. Once you're a gladiator, you have to maintain a certain amount of fitness, like my friend Hawker. Because the contenders, they come on the show and they really want to do well. They really want to beat us gladiators. But having said that, some of them come on the show to have a bit of a laugh. Because Hawker, he took a bit of stick, didn't you, Hawker?
Yeah, I remember that show too. Tracy Harris from Brighton. Maybe use all my tennis balls on danger zone. Really got me mad.
Oh, by the way, I've just lost count, mate. Sorry. 1, 2.
Harrison!
I'm sorry. 3.
Contender, ready! Gladiator, ready! 3, 2, 1.
So Tracy steps into the danger zone. Look like dance steps. Oh, this is Gladiators, not come dancing. First weapon's the crossbow. 10 seconds to get it off. Well, that was close. He's been baiting the wolf, and now it looks like he's trying to hang out on the hawk. All this bravado is costing his time. Remember, those stations self-destruct. You don't release them in 10 seconds. This is one confident hombre. Tracy wants to be a stuntman. This is more like a rehearsal for Singing in the Rain than for Rambo, though. Lets off the mortar. It's onto the rocket launcher if he ever gets there. Oh, that counts. It's a bullseye. Tracy hangs up the hawk. Certainly going to ruffle his feathers. Tracy's gladiated him.
56. 57. Hook wasn't the only one who took some stick. Wolf took some stick too. Do you remember, Wolf? I think he remembers. I'm sorry, mate. 1.
Oh, Wolf eyeballs Tracy. Will you marry me? Oh, Wolf says, I'm not a pushover. Tracy says, nor am I. Oh, the vicar's turned up. John Fashanu bravely stepping in, looking to settle out of court.
Nice. Loosen up. Early days. That's better.
On my first whistle, Contenders will go. On my second whistle, Gladiators. 3, 2, 1.
Tracy and Ludwig pumped up. They'll be in a hurry to get up that wall, knowing that in 15 seconds our referee will release Saracen and the Wolf after them. When Ludwig told me his ambition is to run faster, I changed that to climb faster. Here they come. Oh, Ludwig's lost his grip and his points. Nearly his pants. Tracy a man on a mission. There's bad blood between him and Wolf. But it looks like he's going to give him the slip. He's done it. 10 points. The Wolfman won't be amused.
Tracy, well done, well done. That was a fantastic climb. How do you feel?
I feel great. All I wanted to do was get that wolf.
I saw you psyching each other up at the beginning. What was going through your mind?
I just wanted to kill him.
There's no need for that. There's no need for that. He was just behind you.
Him and Saracen have been giving me some serious ear bending all week. I just wanted to show him a lesson on the wall. I didn't care which one it was. It was either one. I didn't care, but I've done it.
Listen, you're here. You've scored 10 points. Well done.
Thanks.
$205. That little fella, Ludwig Ramsey, the bloke I was chasing up the wall. He went on to do quite well on the hang tough, didn't he? Good.
3, 2, 1.
Ludwig giving away 9 inches in height and 6 stone in weight to Saracen. But as I said earlier, tremendous upper body strength. Ludwig, ex-RAF, so he'll be used to aerial combat. Oh, Ludwig banks left, and he tries a fly past on the Saracen. And Saracen left one-handed. Can he get to the next ring? Oh, out of the blue, Saracen moves in. He's got him. Oh, look at that. That looked dodgy to me. That looked like a headlock with the legs. The rules clearly say no headlocks, no striking out, and that looked like a headlock to me, but how does the guy hang on? I told you he was strong. What a job he's doing. Saracen can't believe it. What? Oh, he brings him down, but surely the referee has called it a foul. Let's take a closer look. And as you can clearly see, Saracen's legs lock around Ludwig in a dangerous headlock. And that is not allowed in hang tough. Let's get the official word. Let's join John Anderson.
Headlocks are not allowed. Saracen used the headlock. Saracen is therefore disqualified. The Contender gains 10 points.
Well, Ludwig, the big man's been disqualified. Do you think you'd have made it otherwise?
Yeah, I definitely would have made it. My point situation was really bad, and I had to get across. And, you know, all I had in my mind was just to get across.
I mean, what was it like when he was hanging on you?
Well, I had one hand at one stage on the ring, and I just couldn't feel anything. All I just felt was I had to hold on.
413. I did get disqualified against Ludwig. I mean, I may have deserved it, but he was a great competitor and he did well on that hang tough. Hook, I'm terribly sorry, mate. I'm just counting. Oh. I'm sorry.
But in the end, both Tracy and Ludwig had to face the might of the shadow.
Yeah.
Tracy sticks it to Shadow. Is this a wise move? Shadow retaliates. He doesn't have to wait for an invitation to the party. Tracy taking a licking, but keeps on sticking. Shadow Shadow giving him one for Wolf, and there's one for Hawk, teaching him to have more respect for Gladiators. It's hammer time! Oh, it's over. This is like something out of Rocky V, and we know the ending. Sent him into orbit. 3, 2, 1. Big or small, Shadow, they're all the same to him. He's got a job to do. I wonder what the bookies' odds would be on this one. Ludwig defends well, making himself an awkward target. Good tactics. If he can keep this up, he may surprise us all yet. I shouldn't be such an optimist. Shadow draws him across. That's an instant DQ, no points. Join us after the break, where we'll show you how the games and set were constructed when we take you behind the scenes. Each 7-foot atmosphere was hand-built, making sure there were no rough edges to what would become known affectionately as the cheese graters. And it wasn't just the Gladiators and Contenders who needed a head for heights. Just look at that. We'll show you some of the problems we had. It took 3 18-hour working days to install the amazing set and lighting rig into this vast Gladiator arena. And how the Gladiators were trained on the equipment. There's flame up the wall. Scorpio on the rings, and certainly not everything went smoothly at first.
Was I supposed to be up here?
And see what happened when Warrior and Shadow faced each other in atmospheres. See how this model became this skeleton and became Gladiator Arena in the challenge of the Gladiators. Welcome back as we show you some more of the backstage challenges that went into the making of Gladiators. One of the most difficult was the construction of the Eliminator. It was decided that there would be no Gladiators involved, a straight head-to-head between contenders. This model was constructed to show the layout. The 2 little white squares are trampolines which were later discarded in favor of the scramble sheet. Then for the men it was the overhead handbike, and for the ladies the overhead ladder. Across the rolling beam, and then onto that second stamina-sapping cargo net. Once atop, it's a 90-foot wild ride down those zip lines for a crash landing on the crash mats. Now the toughest test was left till last, the awesome Travelator, where many a contender came unstuck. If you managed to get to the top of there, then it was just simple, grab that rope and Geronimo through to your winner's medal. It took 3 people 3 days to construct this model. It would take 75 people 2 months to construct the real thing. Theatrical builders Kimpton Walker were chosen because of their track record. They built sets for Phantom of the Opera, Starlight Express, Cats and Miss Saigon. But never before a 36-foot wall, 7-foot solid steel atmospheres and tennis cannons. Safety was always the prime objective. All the equipment had to be padded as well as attractive. Some of the pieces were so big, they had to be built outside. 836 tons of equipment had to be constructed and painted. The floor had 192 diachromic lamps inset into it. Construction engineer Alan Walker discusses the lamps with producer Nigel Lithgow and designer Quentin Chases. He had to make sure that the lamp coverings could take the weight of the atmospheres. So after thousands of man-hours, the equipment was complete. 24 trailers were required to ship it from Kimpton Walker's workshops in London up the M1 to Birmingham's National Indoor Arena. But the problems didn't stop here. As soon as the first lorry load arrived, it was discovered that the first lorry was too tall to drive through the scene dock door. So someone had the bright idea of letting some of the air out of the lorry's tires and reducing its height by 6 inches. Slowly, scraping the top of the doorway, it managed to get in. The same had to be done with the rest of the lorries. All they had to do now was unload them. Even the atmospheres came gift-wrapped. The problem for the crew was that everything was so heavy. The moment a lorry arrived, everybody had to stop work and join in with the unloading. Rigging the lighting was another problem. Over 786 separate lamp heads and over 1,500 feet of trussing to attach it to. With hang tough and swing shot included, there'd be over 30 tons of equipment suspended over the arena floor. Finally, at the laying of the Gladiator arena floor, carpenters used over 2 million screws. It had been point-loaded to bear 1 ton in weight. Unfortunately, the slide in the Eliminator weighed 2 tons, and the entire floor had to come up the night before the first recording and strengthened to accommodate the extra weight. The cost of the set and games came to over £750,000. The least he could do was show a little respect for it. Having constructed the arena, the Gladiators were brought in to be trained. None of them had climbed a 36-foot wall, driven an atmosphere, or jumped off 15-foot towers suspended by shock cord. So 3 days were set aside in the schedule to train them. The following week, 3 days would be set aside for the contenders, as the producers didn't wish the Gladiators and contenders to meet until the conflict.
I can climb this in about 30 seconds without a lock, and I'll work on it.
Here we see climbing expert Brian Hall training the Gladiators. The first thing the Gladiators had to achieve was confidence in the safety equipment. It's not easy throwing yourself off a 36-foot wall, like we see 17-stone Hawk doing here. Flame and Scorpio became great friends. Building up a team spirit is very important. Because other work had to go on in the arena, a small hang-tough rig was set up for training purposes in the sports hall underneath. And it's rather difficult to believe from these humble beginnings, jet was to become such a lethal weapon on the rings. Some mastered the technique quicker than others. Here's Wolf going through his Errol Flynn routine.
Nice one, right. Get the swing going. Swing it.
Like a duck to water. Old Snakehips mastered his slither immediately. Back upstairs in the arena, training in the atmospheres began with Gladiator against Gladiator. Shadow and Warrior stormed towards each other. And not even Shadow could remain on his feet after that impact. 22 stone of Warrior. Just look at that after one collision. Shadow lost his no claims. However, he got better results in his pugil stick training. Mind you, he was only up against series producer Nigel Lithgow, and he didn't even have a stick. Well, Shadow, how would you sum up your day?
Hard work.
To be a contender and face the might of the Gladiators, each contender had to be tested on their agility and their strength. Each contender was put to a very strong program to test them on their agility and their determination to get them through.
That's right, Phoenix. As we take a look at our semi-finalists during their tryouts, here's Vininger Irwin beginning the grueling gym circuit each prospective contender had to endure. For starters, cycle 1 kilometre. Chris Saunders, our detective constable, here moving on to the rowing machine. 800 metres, the distance required for both the men and women. From the rowing machine, here we see ladies champion Van der Fairchild pumping some iron. 40 repetitions from the men and 20 from the women. Kim Dalton going through the paces, and that's exactly what they all had to face after that. 800 metres on the rolling roads. Men had to do the circuit under 8 minutes, and the women under 10 minutes. There's Jane Morris on the home stretch. A short break for the contenders who made the grade, and then it was as many chin-ups as the men could do in 1 minute. For the women, as many press-ups. Another short break, and then it was into those protective helmets for a duel. Jane Morris here demonstrating the power that swept her into the ladies' final. Yes, contenders came from all walks of life. A legal secretary, a fireman, a racing car driver, an ex-para, a senior staff nurse, a house husband, a dance teacher, a sales manager from the Times newspaper, a 40-year-old gym owner, and a professional photographer and dancer. And not all of them endeared themselves to the Gladiators, as we hear now from Scorpio.
The contender who upset me was Nikki Borden. Now, I met her in the first show on the wall, and this is what happened.
3, 2, 1.
So it's 60 seconds to get to the top. Nikki and Bavine get a 20-second start. And this can be a very daunting experience if you've never done it before. 10 points if you get to the summit. They must get both feet over the top. 5 points if you keep contact with the wall for the full 60 seconds duration. If you lose contact, contenders will be disqualified. Here come the Gladiators. A vertical takeoff from Jet as she pursues Bavine, and Scorpio's on Nikki. Scorpio's caught up Nikki. She strikes out on the left leg. Nikki slipped her. Scorpio sent flying. Jet's coming in on Bavine. She's got her leg. Reverse thrust. Bavine has great upper body strength. If she can hang on in there for another 12 seconds, she'll pick up 5 points. Jet gets a better grip. She can't get her off. She's going to make it. There's the whistle. What a great effort. Both contenders managing to keep those Gladiators at bay. 5 points each.
I knew something was wrong. My hands came away from Nikki's legs far too easily. Well, later on in the show, this is what Nikki admitted.
I greased my legs because they were very dry, and I just thought, you know, it would make them look better. And then I thought, as I was doing it, I thought, oh, this is a good idea. She's not going to be able to grip me. And I just thought, oh, I'll put a bit extra on. As it happens, I don't think I actually needed it. I had such a good hold, I don't think she would have got me off anyway.
Well, Nikki got through to the semi-final, and I got my chance to get my own back.
Well, being a semi-final, the head start time is reduced from 20 to 15 seconds. And then Jet and Scorpio will be coming up behind them. Last time out, Vanda picked up 10 points for reaching the summit, and Nikki got 5 for maintaining contact with the wall by giving Scorpio the slip. Over that controversial greasing of the legs, and hell hath no fury like a gladiator scorned. Scorpio out to settle the score. And look at Jet closing in on Vanda. Oh, she strikes out. She's got her, and Scorpio's got a grip with Nikki, and Jet takes her down. And look at this. Well, this time Nikki's legs certainly not greased, and Scorpio having a real battle. This is like a repeat performance of last time out. And it looks like Nikki's going to hang on. What a terrific grip. Scorpio picking up her grip there. She's desperate. Oh, she's done it with 3 seconds left on the clock. No points. Tremendous battle there. Scorpio gets revenge.
You know, one of the worst things a contender can do is to get lost backstage and find himself in a Gladiator's dressing room.
Well, Chris Saunders did just that. We let him live to tell the tale. I was looking for a file to adjust my gloves to fit, and next thing I know, bang, I'm in the Gladiator dressing room. Big guys are walking all around me. I'm outnumbered 6 or 7 to 1, so they thought they'd whip me up in the air, hang me upside down, and take a few photographs of me. Quite embarrassing. And then I was mob-handedly hauled and dumped in front of the other contenders and told, don't come back again. I didn't.
Hey, a good piece of advice for our audience as well as our contenders for next season is never upset the rules.
He started before the whistle. He's cheating! few words with you.
But getting an interview with Wolf is as easy as getting one with Madonna. Brave try, John. But Wolf has slipped his leash. He's out of control. Where's his trainer? Oh, the crowd love that wild thing. He seems to be on the scent of someone in the audience. He's calling out Lionel. It's Lionel Blair. Even Lionel Blair doesn't deserve this treatment. Oh, I don't know, though.
You know what really makes me laugh? Is when these contestants come on the screen and they make these big, bold, brash statements about what they're going to do to us. Let's have a little look and see what really happens.
No one, in my eyes, is invincible. And if there's any man that can take Shadow out, I'm the man.
Straight down to business. Look at that. Shadow, a contender's worst nightmare. Can he stay up? I doubt it very much. He's broken his stick on him. Oh boy, he can't take any more. It's over. He's dropped the stick, and I don't blame him.
The Gladiators are just an obstacle. I'm definitely not in awe of them at all.
So Claire can earn 10 points if she gets to Jet's platform, or 5 points if she can get into the scoring zone and hang tough till the whistle. And you may notice Contender's arms are a little bit longer after they finish this event. The ring's 4 feet apart, and it isn't as easy as it looks. She grabs a blue ring. She's in the scoring zone. And so is Jet. Now there's a close encounter of the worst kind for Claire. Jet strikes again. Gets her on the rebound. She's got you, baby. Takes her down for an emergency landing. Another one bites the dust. Not best pleased about that.
Shadow. Hopefully he's got used to that name by now, because that's all he's going to be. My Shadow.
3, 2, 1. Well, let's hope he's Roger the Dodger, because he's going to have to dodge those blows. Look at that! He can't take much more. Roger takes a dive, and who can blame him?
Contenders used to see me with a poodle stick in my hand, but here I am with a snooker cue. Gladiators don't like to do anything that's easy. Ultimate challenge.
And after that, I'd like to see Stephen Hendry with a pugil stick. There's more to come when we relax with the Gladiators as they share with us their favorite moments of the last series. We'll join Jet in the jacuzzi. So join us after the break when we continue the challenge of the Gladiators. Welcome to the Gladiator training camp, and as you can see, wolves were never happy in the water. But I guess old Cobra must be a water snake.
When you're a gladiator, you can't afford to have a bad day, especially when you're king of the rings like I am. And when I went against Kim Dalton, I was having a very bad day.
Kim Dalton, an exponent of the martial arts himself, a karate black belt. Oh, Kim's saying, anything you can do, buddy, I can do. Cobra says, okay, try this. Kim says, okay, no problem.
Gladiator, ready! 3, 2, 1!
What a shot of Cobra's back. He's even got muscles on his muscles, and this is his favorite event. Now, last time out, Kim failed to make any impression on this event, and therefore no points. He's got 60 seconds to cross the rings, and there's 55 to choose from. He gets to Cobra's platform, 10 points. 5 points for hanging tough, and look at that! He's got Cobra guessing, sent him into a spin. And Kim looking behind him. He can't believe he's left the Cobra in his wake. Gets the ring. Keep that guy out of your way. Go on, Kim. Plenty of time left on the clock as Cobra strikes. And Kim is loving every moment. Look at that smile. Cobra so frustrated. One ring there. Come on, Kim. Let's make it to another ring. Not much time left on the clock. He's going to do it. Look at that. So close. Cobra coming in. He's done it. He's made it to the platform. The first ever to do it. 10 points. The crowd are loving it.
Ah, there. That was Cobra's bad day against Tim Dalton, but Wolf also had a bad day in swing shot, didn't you, Wolf?
Yes, it's 60 seconds of wild flair in midair as everyone meets in the middle, and look at that, Kim picks off a yellow, and Tony comes away empty-handed. 1 point for a yellow in the basket. Here he comes. Look at that bounce, and up he goes. Oh, look at that. Balls fall to the floor. They're out of play now. Wolfman does a great body check. Here comes Kim. Up he goes. Look at that, a red. I have never seen that before in the series. That's the first time we've seen a red. That's worth 3 points. Here comes Tony. Blocked out of the play. It's raining balls there. But this time, happy to pick off a yellow. 1 point. Look at that phenomenal lead of Kim's. Up he goes. He misses that time. Tony's up. Not enough bounce. He won't reach for the blue. Got to get back to the top of the tower. Look at Kim. Tremendous acceleration. Up he goes for a blue. He's like Twizzle. 2 points there. Kim 9, Tony 1. What a terrific bounce to the ounce. Well, let's enjoy that breathtaking moment when Kim really hit the heights by plucking a red ball from the pole. The first high-flying contender to achieve this feat.
Jane Morris is a Commonwealth Games champion in judo. The only reason she didn't go to the Barcelona Olympics was due to an injury. Therefore, when I had to duel her in the second semi-final, I knew I was in for a tough fight.
Flame's going for an instant KO. She knows she's giving away 1.5 stones and she's up against a real street fighter. That is for a change of contender making a few aggressive moves. That's really effective. That'll do for me. 10 points if she can knock her down. 5 hanging in there. Can she put this flame out? I wonder. She's getting to grips with it. Ah, now that's an interesting move. Oh, she lands another one after the whistle. Flame is not amused, and she shows it. A little bit put out. No love lost between these two. I don't blame her for getting down quickly.
Jane Morris also gave us two of the most exciting finishers in the Eliminator. In the semi-final, she was up against our youngest female contender, Moya Liddon.
Moya's ahead of Jane by 18 points. Now remember, each point's worth half a second. So those 18 points give Moya a 9-second advantage.
Moya, you will start on my first whistle. Jane, you will start on my second whistle. 3, 2, 1.
Well, this is new territory for Jane. Last time out, she had the head start, but now she has to watch Moya fly off, which is double jeopardy, because last time Moya was 25 seconds faster over the course. There goes Jane. So, for a place in the final, the girls negotiate 9 obstacles head-to-head. And as we've come to learn, during the Eliminator, anything can happen. Moya on the overhead traverse. Doing a good job there. What's happened to Jane? Oh, there she is, coming over the slide. The deficit's going to be hard to overcome. Jane's got a lot of ground to make up. Moya doing well there. Onto the rolling beam, onto the cargo net. And Jane still left behind on the overhead traverse. Here she comes. Moya maintaining the integrity of her lead. The next mission after the cargo net to grab the zip line and come on down. There she goes. Jane catching up nicely. This Eliminator course must be the mother of all obstacle courses, making great demands on our athletes. It's splashdown. Has she saved enough energy for the Travelator? She's got to take a deep breath now. The last obstacle, she runs at it. Oh, Jane hot on her heels. Up she comes though. She's got a grip. Oh, she's let go. She's come down. We've seen this happen to Jane on the last Eliminator. Lisa Morgan failed to make it up the Travelator. Jane came from her. Oh, Jane's up. Jane's up. She's grabbed the rope. She's through. Geronimo, 1:32. What a time. Moya down and out, and Jane has done it again. Come from behind. What's happened there to Moya? Let's take a look from our vantage point at the top of the Travelator, where our mini camera clearly shows us Moya stops accelerating. She thinks she's made it to the top, and literally victory slips from her fingers.
The crowd in the Eliminator were going mad. Most of the shouting came from Jane's mum. In fact, we had a camera on her throughout the whole of the race to record her excitement.
As you can see, it was just as demanding for them watching as it was for their daughter Jane to partake. Ah, there comes the support. Oh, look at Mum. At this stage, you can see she can't bear to look. She thinks it's all over. Dad keeps one eye on the race over the top of his placard. They don't want to look. Now, what we want to do now is watch the reaction as Moira slips down the travelator. And they realise the tables have turned and their daughter's in with a chance. Watch Mum and Dad. They can't believe it. Dad's up. It's a proud day for the Morris family. Look at this. Last bit of energy. Moira can't believe it. Jane is through. And the whole family celebrate with a big victory hug.
One of the best performances by one of the contenders for me was Rosie Phelps. She was 40 years old and she was really, really fit, and all the gladiators admired her.
3, 2, 1.
Rosie Phelps, the oldest contender in Gladiators, has picked up a lot of support, including her 2 children who are here this evening, Rod, who's 14, and Melanie, 11. Rosie on the crossbow. Look at that! Bullseye! Eat your heart out, William Tell. Panther gets a free flight. Rosie's delighted. Rosie's still going strong. Phoenix still close behind her. Rosie won't settle for 5. She'll want the full 10. And she's done it. Well done, Rosie. That 20-second start, just a little too much for our Gladiators.
Well done, Rosie. You got your 10 points. How was that?
Oh, it's wonderful. I love it. I love the wall. I love heights. One of my greatest ambitions is to fly a Harrier jet.
My favourite Eliminator was in show 3, where Roger Allen and Simon Goddard gave us that fantastic ending to our show.
So it's whistle while you work, and for our ex-para and ex-Royal Marine, this must bring back memories of the old square-bashing days. Simon's new wife, Pam, and Mum and Dad are in the audience this evening, cheering him on. It's neck and neck as they come down the slide. It's up the scramble sheet to the overhead hand bike. A really tough obstacle. You must try and keep your lower body still while the upper body does all the work. Looks like neck and neck as they splash down together. Roger gets onto the rolling beam first. Simon, he's there. He's always onto the cargo net. And there's nothing in it. On Gladiators, the toughest get tougher and the best just get better. I think we'll get the Minister of Defence down here. Might pick up a few tips on their assault courses. It's both on the zip line together, like a scene out of Earl's Court Royal Tournament, except, of course, they'd be carrying cannons on their back. Oh, it's close, but Roger takes a shortcut. Here comes Simon. It's ever so close up the travelator. They grab the rope. It's going to be close. Oh, Geronimo together. It's going to be a photo finish. They're both clean crackered. They gave it their all. And now it's up to technology to tell us who the winner is. Like those photo finishes at the Olympics. And there's a lovely sight to greet you. Here's old Uli.
Roger, I have to ask you, are you the winner?
Yeah, I'm airborne. How's your regiment? What more can I say?
Simon, who do you think won? A layer of boot polish between us, I couldn't tell you.
And watch for the paper. Look for the burst. Both burst through exactly at the same time. Let's check it again. Well, can you split the difference? For the final decision, over to John Fashanu.
Well, after our experts have watched it in slow motion, we're declaring it a dead heat!
I think my hardest time in Gladiators was when I dislocated my kneecap. I went to hospital and my knee was encased in plaster for 10 weeks. That was the hardest time of my life. Let's have a look and see what happened, because to this day, I keep watching the video and I still don't know how I did it.
Well, there's Warrior doing a great job. He's knocked his man off his feet. Does a turn, blocks him out of one, steps forward. Can't move. Oh, and there's the kickback. And there's Shadow with Wolf. And that is some weight they're lifting onto that trolley. Warrior weighs 22 stone. And that's going to be real difficult trying to get him out of that atmosphere. Shadow Warrior's old battle buddy looking very concerned. We'll take him off to the physio. If there's any change in condition or any news I can give you, I will keep you updated.
Cobra, how many is that?
That's 1,000 on each arm. You don't need to do any more. Anyway, we've got that 26-mile run later.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
As you've seen, Warrior's fine now, but accidents like that can happen. Here's a message to all our young fans. Please, do not attempt to copy anything you see the Gladiators do. Please keep watching and keep enjoying the show.
We couldn't leave you without showing you those two extremely exciting finals. As you'll probably remember, Jane was 7 points ahead of Vanda, giving her a 3.5-second head start.
3, 2, 1.
Jane gets a 3.5-second start, and I think she's going to need it. This is Vanda's favourite event. Her times on her last two Eliminated runs have been better than some of the men's, her best being 1:15, and she's already caught up Jane on the cargo net. She's first down the slide. Jane's catching as they both go to the overhead ladder, neck and neck. Courage, grit and will, speed, strength and skill. Our finalists showing ample supplies of those requirements. The Eliminator is everything it's cracked up to be. It makes the Krypton factor look like a walk in the park. Neck and neck. Across the rolling beam. This one's going right down to the line. As we say on Gladiators, it ain't over till it's over. This will be a real test as Jane and Vanda attack that cargo net together. Vanda has the edge. She's going to make it to the top first. Onto the platform. Jane still struggling as Vanda grabs a zip line 90 feet down to the crash mat. And she's still smiling as she rolls into position to take on the Travelator. Jane hot on her heels. Vanda's only going to get one shot at this. They should rename this one the Terminator. It's a real endurance test, a one-way ticket through the pain barrier. Keep going, she's up, she's got the rope. Geronimo! She's through the beta burst. Look, there's Mum and Dad in the audience giving her a victory salute. Now it's the turn of the men. Winding is 18 points in the lead. Each point gives him half a second head start, so 18 points means a 9-second advantage.
3, 2, 1.
So here it is, the men's final, and not the sort of start that Kim would have hoped for, as Weininger makes the most of his head start and rockets up the cargo net. Weininger covering the slide. And there he goes, up the scramble sheet. There's still no sign of Kim. Weininger already 10 foot across. Across the rolling beam, onto the cargo net. Kim slowing down on the hind bike there. Weininger finding inspiration and fully exploiting his reserves of energy, focused on the job ahead. £5,000 prize money and the chance to take on the American Gladiators in Hollywood. A man on a mission. The zip line, he comes down onto the crash mat. Kim's only just made it to the platform. Weininger can see him out of the corner of his eye as he approaches his run up to the Travelator, and nothing is going to stop this man. He's up, waves to the family, grabs a rope through the paper burst. Oh, his father proudly applauding him in the audience. Weininger is waving, it's his father, he's waving his father down from the auditorium to share the magic moment with him. We've had tremendous excitement on this series, so join us later on in the year for Gladiators 2. Fresh competitions, exciting new games, when we ask you to once again face the ultimate challenge, the might of...
Well, there's more rippling muscles and taut torsos next on Central in a new series of Baywatch. In just a moment.